Hello everybody and welcome to see the Krokhol Open 2023, the third stop of the Euro Tour 2023. We are in beautiful Siggerud, Norway at the Krokhol disc golf course, or as the locals call Krokhol disc golf course. It has been an amazing start for the tour since the Pro Forester, the first tournament of the tour, and last week we had some Konopiste action and Niklas Anttila taking that down. It has been amazing to see all these players tackle these European courses. And we are live again at the Disc Golf Network and in YouTube. My name is Esa-Pekka Tupala and welcome to the booth, Spin Doctor himself, Jaani Lansio.
Thank you, Epe. Well, as you said, it's been quite a season so far. It's fun to see the American players coming to Europe, battling with local stars, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Norwegian, Swedes, the Finns can battle with the American stars.
And we're going to have some awesome players for you today, and now we're going to see the Euro Tour rules. And we have total 11 events on this tour, and then we have the 12th Tour Championship in October. But first, we have 8 different countries, and 7 best results from the tour are counted together, and the best ones to pick up those points are going to get an invite to the Tour Championship held in October in Andalusia. And it's an amazing thing to see all the tour live here at Disc Golf Network, and the first round you can also see from the YouTube side of things. And we're going to see some schedules for the tour. So last week we had the Konopiste Open, and now we are at the second stop of the Disc Golf Network, but the third stop of the Euro Tour. We are at Krokhol Open. And next week we have Swedish Open, then we have Skellefteå, we have PCS Sula Open, Åland Open, Alutaguse Open, and then for the final of the season, Andalusia Open, the Tour Championship. And it's going to be some great golf we are seeing today, and as I have heard, the course is kind of tip-top.
Well, as it should be, we're playing on the highest level in Europe, and well, yeah, it's a famous course. It's one of the best courses in the world, according to UDisc, and what's most important is rated by the players themselves. So the players really appreciate the Krokhol course. And it's no wonder why. I mean, we've seen the photos. It's amazing. It used to be a golf course, like they play with sticks and balls.
Yeah. Like those long ones?
Yeah. It's basically the same sport as disc golf, but played with ball.
Ah, okay, cool. That's cool to know. Nice.
Yeah. It should be fun to try out sometimes. But that makes the course also very tricky. It's a long course. It's basically open course. And that might play a big role this weekend, because we don't know how the winds are going to affect this tournament.
And for all you American friends, this is not basic ball golf, disc golf course edition.
No.
It has woods, it has high rise, it has rollovers, it has baskets on top of small hills, and it has creeks and everything. And let's go to see the hole 1 flyover, and you can see it right above here in the studio. Oh my, like the tee pad already, come on. This is beautiful. It's a par 3, 111 meters. And today for the FPO, it's playing the 3rd hardest since the first card has started. And this is a gorgeous opening hole.
Yeah, I mean, just look at it. You have to make a decision. Like, it's not a fair opening hole.
No, it's not, yeah.
I like those opening holes where you can just spray around and hope for the best. Here you have to make a decision right off the bat. Either you throw a boring hyzer shot and just play for the layup, or then you go for the basket, and who knows what's going to happen. The OB is right on the left side of the basket. It doesn't take much of a skip, and then you'll find yourself with struggling for par.
And it's no wonder over half of the women that have played this hole, they actually took a bogey or worse because of the rollaways and because of the hard place to put your disc in to make the putt. And don't putt to the cage at this tournament.
Well, that's a good advice in general in disc golf, yes, but especially on this beautiful course, it's also a brutal course. We have to remember that the basket placements are quite tricky, to say the least.
Let's go right to the action. Let's go see hole 1 played with our feature card. Sophie Björlycke opening her tournament here at Krokhol. A conservative shot, playing for a little bit skip.
You don't want to take stupid risks with your first shot. And this is not the time to play the hero.
Lykke Lorentzen second on the tee. At her home country. This is looking great. No, it's the same spot as Sophie.
Neste ut fra Hamar. We are Disco ECS. Anniken Kristiansen Steen.
And Anniken Steen, another crowd favorite here, should we say, Norwegian player.
A Norwegian champion.
And that's correct. And a lefty. And your last week's Konopiste winner, Rachel Turton. Really going to use her arm at this course.
Rachel, a former ultimate player. And a very cheerful player indeed. Very fun to watch her play. Never gets upset. And that really plays a key role on this course. You can't get upset by your stupid rollaways that you just can't help.
Yeah, I bet every single player today is going to get those rollaways.
Yes, today and tomorrow and the day after.
And after that.
Yeah.
You're not going to come here and get every shot perfectly and get every putt perfectly.
No, that's part of the game.
And we have some of the highest rated players actually in the world today on this card.
Indeed.
We have great talent to show you guys. And what a beautiful weather it's there at Krokhol at this morning. So the local time is just over 9 a.m.
Not much of a wind to speak of.
Yeah, those Norwegian winds can be pretty tough.
Oh yeah.
Anniken for the pretty tricky layup.
Normally in the pictures you cannot see the elevation that well, but this camera angle shows that if you leave your disc on the right side of the basket, you really have to go uphill. You can't even see the basket. And the tricky part is behind the basket there's a downhill and the OB waiting for you.
And that's a nice spot for Lykke to be on her opening drive. Straight side for the basket and she's in the bullseye.
J'entends rien, il me parlait tout le temps.
And you can also see this often. The players are talking to themselves of where they are from the basket, how far, whose turn is it. Turton laying up her three. It's a smart play. Next up, Anniken after that pretty poor off the layup. She's going to have a tough time for the par. She's not going to take it for it.
He's on first hole jitters.
And struggling to get up the steep hill.
Yeah, picture tells more than 1,000 words. There you can see how steep the hill actually is. It's even hard to walk up, not to mention throw.
That's a nice 5.5 meter for Sophie to open her round. And if you were watching last week's Konopiste Open, we had Teemu Nissinen in the booth sharing his wisdom, and one of his tips was take the par and move on. And this is basically the same, but you should add that take the par if you can and, and move on. Some of these holes are very, very tricky.
Sometimes it's the best move to just settle. Don't try to play the heroine. It'll be a long tournament.
Let's go to hole 2 of this FPO layout at Krokhol Open 2023. Par 4, 144 meters, averaging 4.12 this morning. You're going to see a lot of these minor hills in the middle of the fairways. If you land incorrectly, you will get some interesting rollaways. And this basket, talking about a slope on the green.
Yeah, Norwegian slopes. Basically, for righties, this is a very stock hyzer. You're gonna throw like 2 times stock hyzer and hope for the best on the green, because the green, as you said, is on a slope. You just have to hope for the best and then just take the par if you can. But you can, of course, go for the birdie, but there is a risk because the OB line is snaking on the right side all the way from the beginning till the end.
And Sophie and Lykke both are in the middle of the fairway, although Lykke clipped some branches for the maintenance. And it's a pretty tight opening for this fairway, and you can see those branches lurking on the way of your drive. Most of these women are also choosing the straight up play, but here's the risk you're going to take. If you take it too straight, you can find OB. That's where Turton has landed. I'm going to see some lefty forehands. I must ask you, Jaani, how familiar are you with your lefty forehand plays?
Well, I do practice it sometimes.
But it's not on your tournament play
No,
yet.
no, my maximum distance is about, I would say, 50 feet.
Okay.
At most. But, I mean, once a year, there's a placement that there's nothing else you can do but to throw a lefty sidearm. And that comes in handy. Like, once a year, so of course you have to practice it. You might save one shot per year.
Jaani's pro tip for the common player: practice your left forehand.
Yeah, off arm, side arm, one of the most important aspects of the game. It's just beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
I've never been to Norway actually, which is a shame.
Yeah, it's on the bucket lists of many players, and it's not. So, it's really near considered if you are a Finn and loving disc golf, you really should visit there. Or if you are a Northern European player, that's on your must-have bucket list.
Yeah, I mean, wherever you live in the world, come to Norway. It's a beautiful place, I hear.
And you can
Hitting
the
the
sign
fence.
there.
Hitting the fence.
Sophie.
This one has to roll down. Oh, but it's safe.
Miles safe.
Just
Yeah, this is a
circle's
risky
edge.
play because of that bush in the middle. And one thing you are going to see on this course is a smart positioning of those OB lines. It's not simple, it's not a straight line from here to basket. There is this.
This one's a beauty.
Oh my gosh. Lykke came here to play today. That's what you want to do. And playing for the slope, the angle of the disc was correct, considered the slope there. And Turgeon taking her third shot after the OB.
Yeah, I think best she can do is play for the par, but it'll be a tricky one. And there we can see a bad break, bad roll away. Leaving her some putting to do. Rachel Turgeon, indeed, last year's European Pro Tour champion from Great Britain, former Ultimate player, still might play some Ultimate. And that's the thing in Central Europe, most of the players are from Ultimate background. Then they change the sport, switch to, I would say, a little bit more interesting sport. I used to play the Ultimate when I was younger. I loved it, though.
Yeah, and we have seen many Ultimate players change to disc golf after they have a critical knee injury or elbow injury or multiple of those. So,
oh yeah, I mean that's a brutal sport.
Yeah,
it's one of the toughest sports there is.
Yeah, considering how much damage you can do to your body if you're not careful, and even if you are.
Yeah, and you have to run all the time. Disc golf is a leisurely sport. You just walk, basically.
Sure. Or if you are at Konapiste like 9 p.m. and you're missing the light, then you have to run, but that's not running. That might be more of a hurrying. This is a hard putt for Sophie. Downhill, circle one's edge. Hitting the cage.
Not the worst possible break there.
Yeah, that's a rare cage hit because it didn't have a roll away.
Oh yeah.
I think that plate of the disc just hit the top, the bottom of the cage. But nevertheless, she's gonna putt for par just outside bullseye. And this is Turton's for the par.
Yeah, nasty roll away. It was a lot better shot than the result shows us.
Running through the forehand.
Sidearm putting.
Nope.
Nah, it's a layup.
Just a smart layup.
Yeah.
As we were talking yesterday, you really just want to secure some fine basic points on these holes for the first 2 days, and then you can see if you are in the competition that you have to do some other things than exist in your playbook.
Yeah, you could take a bogey here and there. There's no big damage done on this course. There are courses where a bogey means death, but really in Krokhol, there's lots of room for bogeys.
Let's go see some Lykke Lorentzen action.
It was a picture perfect.
Yeah. And notice her footing there, it was not an even ground, even though it looked first, the camera, that she was on a solid plate. But she was actually just a bit uphill, and that's something that you're gonna consider here as a stable state.
I also like her unified coloring scheme. All the discs and the bag also is pink.
Yeah.
You don't see that much players who choose only one color in their bag, but I kind of like it. I've grown to like it.
And here you have the hole 3, par 3, 69 meters, 226 feet, averaging 3.29 this morning. This is a tighter one. And you can see these ancient stones and rocks on the fairway. And as you told Jaani, there was actually a ball golf course, and the front 9 was put to rest, as to say, from the ball side of things. But this is not a fairway of a ball golf course.
No, this is a very traditional Scandinavian course played on the bedrock.
And you're going to see both of those. You're going to see green, ball golf greens through which we are playing, and then you can see the woods.
I like it that there's variety.
Yeah. And you can see this beautiful scenic of the clubhouse. They have pro shop there with bunch of discs.
Cafe with refreshments,
Yeah.
After a long day on Krokhol, you're gonna need some.
And Lykke Lorentzen opening the hole beautifully, missing her line actually, I'd say. But she manages to get just outside circle 1. Sophie kicking right towards to the tee after some tree action, but she's up on the fairway, I'd say 1/3 gone. Anniken
With the sidearm.
That was great idea, but just not enough turnover the early stage of the flight. And the green is tricky because there is a big hill just on the left side of the basket there. This is beautiful. Stop.
Oh,
And here's something
long
that
gone.
you have to consider. Rachel
Yeah.
Turton is long gone, and there is actually no OB, so she has to play from there.
Yeah, if she finds the disc.
Yeah, for sure.
The audience didn't see it. They gave a raging applause for that shot. And sure enough, it looked good for a while, but the result was more than tricky.
And they might not actually know right now where Rachel Turton's disc actually is, and I bet they won't in a minute either.
No, it'll come as a shocker.
Sten. She has a fine line to the basket. Can she execute? Oh, come back. That's a nice kick, but she's far away.
It was a good break. Now she'll have to make a decision whether to run it or not.
Sophie with a beautiful layup there, just stopping the disc by the fence. And that's some disc control.
It's a nice little addition from the course designer to add the small fence. Just makes things a little bit fairer.
Talking about the color code for Lorenzen, Sophie actually has pretty much white or turquoise bluish discs on her back, so she's kind of there.
Yeah, I've seen many Swedes do that, even like 10 years ago. Maybe that's a tradition in their home country.
Yeah, I myself, I'm rocking a full red bag, so
Oh
everything.
yeah.
But now Lykke, is she going for this? She is. Ah, that's nice. That's like a
It was a
solid
good
effort.
run. Oh yeah, good run, good run.
Yeah. Soft enough to stop at the bullseye.
I think she's like down the hill somewhere.
Now they
Now
realize.
the reality comes kicking in.
Oh, I'm in where? And this is.
That's 50 feet wide at least.
Yeah, I mean they are still short of it. I mean this is one occasion when the camera crew really helps out the players. They can tell them where their discs are. And this has stopped before we thought it.
It could have been worse.
Yeah, for sure. Doing that. Oh, the best thing here about hitting the tree, fortunately stopping at the bullseye, so Rachel's gonna card the par.
I mean, it looked a lot worse than that.
Yeah, for sure. Anniken seems to be lining up an Anheuser putt, so yep. Solid run. Nice height.
A bit shy.
These players are picking up their pars, and Anniken picking up her bogey. We are hearing from the course that the sun is shining and the weather is warm, but we have some 5 to 7 meter per second gusts coming from the creek side of things, so these players may experience. Ooh, that's an unprecedented miss from Rachel Turton. She's gonna remember that for the rest of her round. I hope she.
I hope she doesn't. I hope she doesn't. Just shake it off
and move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they may experience some wind coming to the more open holes. Let's go to see some Finnish disc golf action on the course in Norway. We have Silva Saarinen on the hole 5. And there's a solid putt there for Silva. A nice scorecard there. Just one birdie, but all the others are pars. So that's solid.
Silva Saarinen is one of the up-and-coming young Finns, especially known for her putting.
Yeah, she really can show you some mad skills on the putting green. Just needs to pick up her drives and upshots to the level of her putting, and she's gonna win multiple tournaments.
Sophie?
3.
Anakin? Rachel?
4.
Coming to an opening again. One video you might have seen from the Krokhol course is the Eagle McMahon's rundown. He was visiting this place. It was a bit rainy of a day, and he made a video playing all the holes and trying to beat Lunde's -8 score on this very course, and that was 3 years ago. So the layout was pretty different, and nowadays we have 2 layouts here. We have blue and we have gold, and the gold being the furthest tees, and the blue playing some shorter tees. And the FPO is basically playing the blue baskets, which represent mostly the layout that Eagle was playing. But some of the holes are shorter on the blue layout than on the course seen on the video 3 years ago.
You can see the wind is picking up.
Yeah.
And especially with the elevation, it's going to play a huge role.
And you're going to see these plays from Sophie Björlycke. She's playing those forced flex lines. And oh my gosh, Sophie Björlycke. Oh my, that's a great shot. 117 meters.
All
Wow.
the
Going
pieces
long,
to be happy
actually.
there.
Yeah, with the skip going long.
And a little tree love,
Yeah.
pushing the disc back to the basket. Just take your birdie.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
This
one needs to skip back in. And that went OB quite early.
Yeah, she's not gonna have a short little layup. She's gonna have a full approach shot. And Rachel, she's gonna have a good spot here to use her control on the drives. It's looking okay. Is it too tight? Nope. That's fine.
Circle's edge.
And those are the 2 main things on this hole. Don't go OB is the first in priority. So don't turn your drive too much over, or don't go left to the trees. That's not a Konopište rough. That's really a rough.
No, this is a search party rough.
Let's see a flight over of the hole 4. So it's a par 3, 117 meters, 384 feet. Playing second hardest today, this morning, at 3.82.
Yeah, it doesn't look that hard that the scores are telling us, but really the wind is playing a role here. It seemed like they had a headwind, which of course means for the righties that the disc has got to turn over and heading towards the OB. And that adds instantly 1 to your scorecard, so maybe that explains the quite high average.
And there you can see on the left side, there is a slope, a big one coming after this green. And that's one thing you might consider when choosing between a driver or a slower disc. You don't want that skip just under the basket right onto the cliff. And Jaani, you have played these kind of holes multiple times. You might want to choose the slower disc, won't you?
Yeah, slow and overstable. Just play safe. If you don't feel secure enough on the tee pad, then always go safe. The confidence is key.
And this is the Anniken Steen's 3rd shot after the unfortunate OB.
From the 50-meter stake.
This looks good. And stop. That's nice. She's gonna putt for the board bogey.
Yeah, definitely the wind is picking up. When we first started this round, it looked like it's going to be a calm, beautiful day. But the longer we play, the wind is bigger.
Yep. Lykke, after a short drive, laying up, still leaving herself a 6-meter putt. And as we saw from the last hole, none of these putts are given here, especially on this kind of pro-level tour. You have to commit to every shot, and the longer the tournament rounds get, the more difficult it gets to stay in focus and keep your focus on this tracks.
Yeah, it always comes down to your mental capabilities. All of the players basically can throw frisbees. Well, who can commit? Who can play at her best level in a tournament? That's where it really comes to.
Turgeon. And another miss, and I think she took the last hole with her, so she gave it just a bit more power just to make sure.
Yeah, I mean that can happen. You still think about the last hole. That's just, it's prehistory. It doesn't happen anymore. So
Yeah.
just forget about it and move on. Easier said than done.
For sure. Anniken. Or bogey.
Is a headwind putt.
Yeah, not able to commit there. She's gonna grab a double, and Anniken is 4 over after 5 first holes, and that's something
It's
really
really
fast.
really underperforming.
As Lykke Lorentzen there carding the par, and she's 1 down. And Sophie Björlykke, she's gonna putt just outside the bullseye for the birdie. And Sophie's going to match Lykke 1 down. And Silva Saarinen 1 down with this one. Great job, Sophie.
With that putt, Sophie is going to win 2 strokes for the whole card, or for the whole field, actually.
Yeah, yeah. There's no other birdies on this hole 4 than Sophie's just seen birdie. We're going to kick off some commercials at this point. We'll see you soon enough for the first tournament round of the FPO at Krokhol Open 2023.
Hey, I'm Johannes,
Hey, I'm Jonathan.
and today we're going to talk about how to aim. You have some problems with the distance, the timing, and pretty much everything. This is kind of the ground or the beginning of the throw.
Here we go.
So we're going to throw some forehands.
Oh yeah.
Then you just stroke the board and then you push it in the basket. You should never, ever throw your max on a golf course.
What?
This is latitude 64. We handle the smallest of grains with the greatest of passion. Always trying to improve, trying to be better, out of curiosity, excitement, out of thrill, for the player, and for the game. Because we want to make disc golf awesome for you.
And welcome back to the beautiful Krokhol Open here at Norway, just outside of Oslo actually, about 15-minute drive. And we are on the hole 5. And the hole 5 is a tricky par 4 with OB and a hazard bunker. So great stuff combining those stick and ball golf features on this disc golf course. Here we saw Rachel Turton's and Anniken Steen's opening shots. And that's tied right, but
Yeah, well,
luckily there is no OB right side.
That's a beauty. Jenni Karppinen.
Jenni Karppinen there opening her first hole.
I have a live side as well, so.
So let's see, Sophie Björlycke's opening at the par 4. This looks great. Does it hold the line? We're going to see that later. And Lykke Lorentzen, beautiful Anheuser drive. Oh, this is huge. Great job from Lykke. She's really going hot right now. Looking those drives, 1 under for the round. Looking at another birdie if she can commit to the approach drive. Sophie. Oh, and glide for her. That's a nice shot. She didn't want to do anything too hazardous, should we say.
Small but nasty bunker there, eating away your scores. Not on this card though.
Yeah,
luckily.
And those sand bunkers are something that if you go there, even if you have great amounts of power, you're not gonna get out those. You're not gonna skip, you're not gonna roll, you're gonna stick there. Anniken, second throw. Hits those guardian trees. Let's hope she has a alley to lay up from.
Well, basically you want to get to the left side of the fairway, though it has the OB. So you don't want to go too much to the left, but the right side might be a little bit harder because you have to go around the trees, the guardian trees that are guarding the basket there. And this is a typical result.
Yeah. If you're going to challenge those trees from the right side, you need air and you need power. Rachel had the last of those two.
Yeah, but no luck.
Yeah, and no luck. Yeah. That's the third you need.
Yeah. I mean, I would always choose luck.
Yeah. Oh, this
It's a very
is
nice
beautiful.
skip. Leaving some 4 meters there.
Lykke Lorentzen going to card a birdie if she can get it inside, just outside the bullseye. Great job. Let's go back to Jenni Karppinen, and she's on hole 7 putting for birdie. And the wind is picking up. Nice putt from Jenni Karppinen. And Jaani Karppinen has carded 2 birdies today, number 2 and number 7, just seen there, and she has only 1 bogey, so she's tied for the first spot at this moment, -1 after 7 holes. Silva Saarinen, another Finn, also 1 under. She only has 1 birdie, and other ones are pars, and that's a great result here. As you have seen, you can take double bogeys, you can take bogeys easily. Anniken now. Some trouble here, maybe.
Nothing much left to do there.
Yep.
Just laying up.
Anniken kind of lucky there. If she had your shoulders, Jaani, she couldn't have made that putt through those trees. And Sophie there laying up for the par. Doesn't have anything to do with the rollout.
I mean, that's the smartest you can do. Just lay up, because you don't want to take stupid risks. Not at this point.
Beautiful birdie for Lykke.
That's definitely a bonus.
And she's 2 down, taking the solo lead on the tournament. And Rachel carding the par. And the first female players opening the tournament day are now on hole 13, and up until that point this hole 5 was playing 6th in difficulty, but I think as the scores are settled in, it's playing in the middle part of the difficulty scale. And here you can see some thick woods that we are going to experience on this round at Krokhol Open 2023. So as said, this is the 3rd stop of the Euro Tour 2023, and 2nd of those of which are streamed via Disc Golf Network. And welcome also our YouTube friends and viewers. You can see all these first round coverages in YouTube for free, and then after that, if you wanna keep on the action, you must head to the Disc Golf Network streaming services. Lykke Lorentzen opening hole 6, going high. This is a par 3, 77 meters, and she might have clipped some branches there. A bit too high for the shot.
This is one of those must-get holes, so definitely you'll be a little disappointed if you don't get to try for the birdie. I mean, it's only 77 meters, 253 feet. Annie, all of these players certainly have that.
And Sophie and Turton making the interesting decision for the forehand here. Many players are going for the Anheuser turnover, but Turton is relying on her forehand. This is looking great. Wow. Stop, 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 stop.
Yeah, as an ultimate player, you just need to have that. And the last hole we saw a beautiful. It looked easy, but it's not easy to throw a very short forehand shot of 20 meters. It's not easy.
Anniken, beautiful, looking at her first birdie of the round. She has had a tough time here. The first 4 holes going 4 over.
Yeah.
Carding the par on the 5.
It's the needed wake up.
Beautiful, beautiful scenery here at Norway. At Sigerud. Let's go to see the flyover of hole 6. The 77 meter, 253 feet par 3.
It's a beautiful hole. You just need to hit the gap, make the disc turn to the right.
And if this was just plain old field here, it would be kind of boring, but you have this hill to consider, and then you have those guardian trees just before the basket.
It seems like there's always a hill.
Yeah, welcome to Norway. Sophie, smart layup there.
I was hitting the bug. I killed the bug.
I was wondering for a while, why is she so upset?
How can she be so upset of the perfect layup play? Luke, come on, show us some anger. No, that was a bug on her basket, and she was making that clear for the whole group. That's great stuff. Sometimes you need to keep those bugs away.
Yeah, maybe let off some steam. Some bottled up steam from the latest holes, not from this one.
And it's definitely more common to see some frustration from the MPO side. Anniken, beautiful death putt there for the birdie.
I think she needed a little bit of a confidence boost.
Yep. She knows she can execute all these holes. She must just find her groove. Lykke settling for the beautiful par. And Rachel Turgeon for the birdie. Beautiful. Turgeon is currently 1 over for the round. And as these players are walking to the hole 7, Lykke Lorentzen leading the tournament 2 under after the 6 first holes. Sophie Björlykke tied second, 1 down. Rachel Turgeon 1 over and Anniken Steen 3 over. And here you can see the next one, par 4, hole 7, 142 meters, 466 feet, averaging 4.06, so this is not the hardest hole of the course.
No, it's one of the rare holes you don't have to worry about the OB. I think that explains the relatively low average score.
You have some rough and some slope on the left side of the fairway, and then coming to this beautiful wooded green. You don't want a roll away. Surprise, surprise.
No, it's a beautiful hole, but relatively stress-free because there is no OB. So you can throw into the woods and still be quite content with it.
Yeah. One of the holes that FPO is playing the blue layout, so a bit shorter of a layout. Rachel opening beautiful forehand there. So the holes that FPO are playing, the gold layout was on hole 5, and the next one is all 12, 14, 15 and 17. And all the other holes are played from the blue layout. Anniken showing us the textbook backhand drive.
right in the middle.
And Lykke Lorentzen left with her understable-ish distance driver playing that flex play. She has been such a pleasure to see you at. Yeah, that's great. Sophie. This is basic stuff for our FPO feature card players. Just want to get the distance of the tee. Let's see some spin doctor opinions about what you should do on this very course. So doctor's orders.
Yeah, doctor's orders. I love the photo there. Where did you find that? Go big or go boring? Well, we've seen it's a very, very challenging course. You need to make the decision on the tee pad if you want to go big, you want to chase that birdie, or if you want to go boring and take the par, play for the safe play. I would definitely go for the safe choose. Then layup.
Lay up and go forward.
Lay up and go forward. We've seen how tricky these basket placements are. You don't want to challenge the rollaways. There will be some. And the third aspect is keep your head cool. Everyone will have bad breaks. It's a long tournament. You have to play for the long haul. Keep your head cool. Don't get the small minor mistakes. There are always minor mistakes. Don't get them go to your head and just pick up your triple bogey and go on.
And as we see, Sophie Björlycke here with unfortunate tough lie for her second shot. Jaani, I bet you are familiar with the fact that I think that one of the aspects that pro players practice the least is laying up.
Yeah, you might be right there.
And that's something you really need here. You need to lay up with your putting, jump putting. You need to lay up with your, I mean, those forehand flick shots. That's something that we practice during our rounds. But some putting layups, they are tricky because at least in here you need to read the slope and the angle.
Yeah, that's true. I've been watching a lot of disc golf, of course, and the spectators, they don't really appreciate the 20-meter layup, because that can really make or break your score.
And that's a fact. Coming from the spin doctor. And Lykke Lorentzen, she had a long drive, and now she has a little bit of those bushes on her way for the green. But this is a nice spot to be. Nice stability on that disc. Textbook. Under the basket for the birdie. And Lykke Lorentzen is going to be 3 down after the first 7 holes.
Stay up, stay.
Ah, that's fine.
Not too bad. Could have been worse.
Yeah. Thanks for the instant stones for being there to stop the disc.
I mean, all it takes is 2 times 70 meters and you have a birdie. So it's not that hard on paper, may I add.
Yeah, that's true. And you can see that there's a bit of elevation on this hole too. Searching for the disc there. Some rare even ground here
Like
on the whole 7.
same color as the earth, like brown, purple. What was it? Color? Like kind of like the same color as the ground, like browny, earthy colored. Well, that's perfect. Not great. Not great.
Same color as the ground.
Yeah, so
Did
Rachel
say.
chose wisely.
Something here.
Yeah. I've seen some camo colored discs also. I mean, I don't know what kind of a what kind of a choosing is that, but you can play it risky. It's like playing with white colors only on snow.
And I want to see a cameo bag, full bag with camo disc.
Yeah,
That would be cool. I have one specific friend who really likes those olive green discs and dark gray discs, and that's a pain on the course.
Yeah, you don't want to play with those kids.
And let's say we are not pro level players. We are going to search for those discs a lot more than these players are. And Turton is in a tight spot right now.
I'd like to see where she's lining for.
That's a valiant effort, but she's still on the slope. Yeah, that's a tough break. Going to the left side of this fairway. You actually wish there was OB for you to continue on the line, but that's clever course designment there.
Yeah, sometimes you really wish there was OB, but when there's a rough like this, I think course designers should always go for the rough rather than the OB. It's more interesting to see. It's more interesting to play.
Yeah. And look at this lie Turton needs to get.
There's nothing more to do than probably a sidearm flick.
Trying to get her legs set behind the lie. Nice effort there. She can't get her body on the shot, just laying up.
And there you have it. A small mistake cost her
2 strokes.
2 strokes, taking a bogey from this one.
Anniken Steen, great upshot, putting for birdie. Second birdie in a row, if she can make this.
There was a little bit of hesitation there, but
yeah,
she gathered her nicely.
It wasn't her most solid of the putt. Sophie taking her par. Turton for the bogey. And we still have Lykke Lorentzen left for the birdie in the bullseye. Great. And that was a birdie putt for Silva Saarinen there. Couldn't quite commit there on the height. You are rarely going to see the basket right in front of your eyes on the level. And this is live from the hole 8. Really tough green here. If you get a roll away of the slightest, you will have a tree on your way. Solid putt there. Silva now again for the par. Nice catch. Jenni Karppinen taking the par. Let's see this hole 8 with the beautiful drone shot. Par 5, 219 meters. Easily the hardest hole on the day, averaging over stroke 0.18 over the par. Wow.
I mean, it's got everything. It's got the elevation, it's a tight tunnel shot, has a Mando, lots of OB on the right. Well, that's not particularly in the play, but then you have this OB area in the middle. You have to choose if you play in front of it or if you try to go over it. There's everything on this hole, so no wonder it's...
And the hole is not over there. You need to come left for the basket, which is right, as we saw, in the middle of the forest.
Yeah, it's a small window that you cannot even see, so you really have to know what you do.
Yeah, and you don't have a clue what's lurking behind those trees in the forest.
All kind of creatures.
Lykke choosing a wide forehand. And that's a risky play. You might get some extra distance, but you'll have to go through some branches.
It's a risky play, and there's also Mando.
And when asked about this course from the players, the adjective they chose was basically wow. And we can actually understand why. This is a gorgeous property, and it was actually established in 2018. And the people finding this was basically an accident. They came up of these abandoned 9 holes of ball golf, and they decided to make it a disc golf course. Rachel Turton now opening hole 8.
It was a good shot, but there's a tricky lie.
Yeah.
I wonder if she can find a good foot placement there.
Yeah, and Turton is not far away from the lead, but she really needs to pick up her play, and I think she's still going for the birdie here. Let's see Anniken Steen opening this hole. Oh my.
That's a picture perfect shot
right
there.
And you can see she had I mean, that's the perfect opening. That's the perfect drive, and she still is on a slight slope. She still doesn't have a run-up.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a lefty. She might have, but...
Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
Oh, you see it? Okay, good.
So this course was, as you told us, Jaani, it was the second highest rated course last year by UDisc players. So just after Maple Hill, this was the best course in the world. And this is the best course in Europe. It's on the spot number 1. And it has been on the UDisc top 10 list for 3 years straight. And I suppose it will be there.
Yeah, that tells a lot about this course. And we've seen it now. We've seen the first 8 holes, and it's just stunner.
And look at this fairway opening as Lykke is laying up before the OB zone. I mean, that's so clever course designing. Let's make a big OB in the middle of the fairway, so they have to choose.
Yeah.
And that's really a fair OB for that you can land. You have a pretty much landing before the OB and after the OB, so it doesn't strict you in any specific way. And Sophie taking a interesting skip there.
For a while it looked like it had a lucky kick, but
then it skipped on the other side. Oh, we'll see if she has anything from there.
Here we see. No,
Yeah.
there's no footing
Yeah.
whatsoever. But as an ultimate player, Rachel really has this dialed in.
Yeah.
Stand still sidearm. It's easy when you know it. Yep.
Stay, stop. That's great. Rachel has a full, beautiful straight shot fading to the basket from there. Would you say, Jaani, I'm hallucinating if I'm saying I'm getting a lot of Tyyni Open vibes from this course, or Sipe Disc Golf course vibes?
Yeah. You mean the monster hole?
Yeah.
That's true. Sipe Disc Golf has this monster hole that's, I would say it's more like a par 7 than a par 5. But
Or par 17 for my
par
take.
17, yeah, I would take that. I mean, double digits, you see them there. But yeah, you're right. Same kind of vibes.
Oh, Anniken.
No.
And that's how you see the perfect drive ending up the approach on the first 3 available.
This is heartbreaking.
And now it's not easy to say par. She's gonna really fight for it.
See a patent pending, probably just laying up in front of the OB area.
Or going right side. And stay.
Yeah, that's probably the best you can do from there.
She's gonna have a tough stance if she chooses to go with the backhand, but I suspect she might also go with the forehand from standstill. Yeah, this brings back some shivers from the monster at Sibbe. But you really need these kind of holes to separate the most talented players and the most well-chosen shots. Sophie Björluk, a beautiful flex line. Does this have enough distance? It doesn't.
It doesn't. There's a tricky putt for herself.
This hole is so difficult.
Sophie Björluk has been playing a lot of disc golf and a long time. She first took her PDGA license in 2008 and turned pro rapidly after that. She's been playing 98 career events so far and winning 49 of those.
She's pretty dominant in Sweden and actually a Masters player.
Yeah, so she's qualified for the FP40 class, but here she is showing her skills in the Open division.
She can definitely use her experience to her advantage.
Yeah. And compared to Lykke Lorentzen here, who has started her professional career almost 10 years after Sophie.
Yeah, and there they are, battling neck on neck. That's the beauty of this sport, actually. I love it.
And that's actually not a beautiful drive from Lykke. She was on a tough stance and she made it. I mean, she was about 10 to 20 meters short of the opening. And I mean, this is a really popular course, but the rough isn't getting any easier. You run in trouble if you fade early here. Here you can see the reason why most of the players are aiming for the right side of that OB if they aren't going over it, if they're not in a position to do that. Turton's third throw here. Just a bit long, but I bet she has some kind of a putt there, and she might get some strokes for the whole field. I mean, up until this moment, there is just 3 pars on this hole. I'm sorry, 5 pars, and all the others are bogeys overs.
So the birdie is a unicorn here.
Yep. And Rachel Turton has an opportunity for it. And Anniken choosing the forehand. Does this fade? It has 2 gaps actually to the green, and she's fine in the corner, but she doesn't have an easy putt.
Yeah, I mean, aim in the middle and let the disc decide.
Yep.
That's probably the game plan here.
And some other nature info coming from the course, that those horseflies in Finnish Parmas, they're waking up there and they're getting some huge momentum from this warm sunshine.
I mean, they're nasty ones.
Yeah.
They leave a big bite mark.
Yeah. They're having some holes on their own on those bodies there.
Yeah.
You are unfortunate enough to get those bites.
They'll have a midsummer fiesta there with all those players sweating, and
hope they have some repellent spray with them. As we are seeing, there are interesting alleys for Sophie Björlöke to choose from.
J'ai l'impression qu'ils sont 12 à parler dans ce local.
And always, if you are playing a PDGA sanctioned event, remember to confirm from your group that your lie is proper and your footing is fine. Sophie making her best effort, but she's still 8 to 9 meters from the basket. And after that shot, she's putting for par. Anniken now. And this next shot is for Anniken's par, actually. This is her 5th, I believe. Making the effort, almost ringing it in.
that was a solid effort there. No damage done. But after the picture perfect opening shot, she cannot be satisfied with the bogey.
And now Rachel Turton for a point of the whole field. And she makes it. That's really, really important for Rachel Turton, getting her round properly started after that sad first 3 holes with 2 bogeys. She's now 1 over for the round and carding 1 stroke off the whole field with that birdie. The only birdie of the day.
That will definitely lift up her spirits. That will carry a long way, I hope.
Yeah, and Sophie is putting for bogey. Anniken is putting for bogey. Lykke is actually putting for par. I mean, the rest of the card took total of 5 strokes more of Rachel on this hole.
Yeah, I think that will be a real energy boost for Rachel.
And we are heading to the last hole of the front 9 here at Krokhol Open. Let's see that Rachel Turton putt before going to the hole 9 with these players. Let's roll back that Zuka replay.
That's full commitment right there. No hesitation whatsoever.
And that's almost from
the upper
circle
right
section.
corner,
Yeah.
downhill.
And Jaani, would you agree that the sweet spot of the basket for the right-hand putting is almost in the middle of the ball, but not? It's just on the right side and down about 10 centimeters over the cage.
Yeah, I would say for the righty, always aim for the right side of the center pole, maybe a little bit higher than the center.
Now, live from the hole 10, Silva Saarinen opening the par 3.
Hits the OB stick and stays inside.
Yeah, laughing at her luck there. Hitting the OB stick, kicking inside. That's how you play the game.
Always choose luck.
And Jenni Karppinen next, opening the hole 10. Beautiful downhill hole.
Also surrounded by OB. And this is early.
But
Struggles through.
getting the green flag. And now back to the live with Rachel Turton opening the hole 9, par 3, 75 meters. Averaging 3.29, so just in the middle of the difficulty scale here for the FPO.
Yeah, I would say one of those rare must-get birdies. A little bit uphill. Not that difficult on paper, but of course everything can happen. Have to hit the gap perfectly and not go long because there's an OB lurking just behind the basket.
And Lykke Lorentzen didn't have any luck on that opening. She kicked hard left.
Oh, that's an early tree hit.
Yeah, that's a bad shot from Annika Steen. Didn't commit.
Yeah, it seems like something's wrong. I don't know. She's looking at her hand like there's something wrong with the fingers.
Yeah. And Sophie also. That's unprecedented for this card. They really can pierce those gaps easily, but they have some grip issues or something lurking.
It's a hot day. Maybe the hands are sweating a little bit too much at this point. You'll need some birdie bags. What do they call them nowadays?
Some kind of those, yeah. Or maybe they just want to show us some scramble highlights.
I would love to see some scramble play now. Show us.
And they're gonna need it. Now you have a worse gap to hit. Times 3.
She going for the sidearm roller. Uphill with these huge rocks. Yep.
I mean, that's great.
Yeah, not a bad effort at all.
Sophie is putting for the par. If she doesn't choose the layup. And Anniken trying to get a footing there. I mean, it's rough, and then you have also the slope there for the stance to be even harder of a shot.
And the wind is pushing it to the right side.
And she did everything she could from there. She chose, I think she chose the right disc and overstable-ish fairway, trying to fade back to the basket. Lykke, oh. Hitting, I should say, the one available.
Am I?
And most likely, Lykke is facing the first bogey of the round.
So, I said before this hole that this is a must get. And now we're probably seeing more than one bogey.
Yeah. And that might actually be some of the thoughts these players had. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
a must get for the players, so they were almost, that's a nice layup for Lykke. They were almost like giving up to the feeling that this is a must get. You have to birdie
Yeah,
this.
probably after that tough par 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, finally a breather. Just rest for this one.
Yeah. Sophie almost running this in. Great shot, landing near the bullseye there for the bogey. And here at Krokhol, anything you can salvage from laying up from like 40 meters, about 160 to 200 feet, and you can tap in something, it's gonna be nice. You don't have to putt here for like circle one's edge, circle 2.
Yeah, this one's also an elevated basket. And one thing you don't want to do is hit that
Yep.
log under the basket. But luckily Rachel's stays there in the bullseye. And she can take yet again one shot. One shot for the whole card.
Yep. There has been some birdies here. Nice putt for Lykke. Silva Saarinen currently, after that bogey from Lykke, Silva Saarinen from Finland tied first place. She took the birdie here. And there was a putt from about circle one's middle side of things. Then we had Sigrid Sandum carding the birdie and actually outside circle 1. Solveig Stenberg also carding the birdie. That was actually a tap-in birdie. So a couple of birdies, a couple of pars, and then we have these unfortunate bogeys also. And here you can see the top 10 of the opening day here at Krokhol Open FPO first round. Lykke Lorenz and Silva Saarinen sharing the lead with 2 down for the tournament and for the round. Jenni Karppinen solo third, 1 down. Sophie Pierre-Lykke solo fourth at even. And Rachel Turton getting those gears settled. So for the last 4 holes, she has 2 birdies, 1 bogey and 1 par. So she's evening out. She's 1 over. Moving on to the back 9 of the layout here at Krokhol. We have hole number 10. As we saw just moments ago, it's a downhill par 3, 105 meters, carding third hardest today, averaging 3.88.
Yeah, and the reason definitely is again the OB that's surrounding the whole throw from beginning till end.
And you can see the green is not, there is no thick grass here. So if you skip, you might as well take the OB.
It's a fast green, as they say in the stick and ball golf.
Rachel Turton with a beautiful par, opening the hole 10.
That is a perfect shot.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, Rachel's getting hot here.
Yeah, Rachel is feeling it right now. She had a slow start, but she's on the right track now.
And the struggle continues with Luke Lorentzen. There's something wrong with Luca.
Anniken
knows that this will be out of bounds immediately after the disc leaves the hand. This is gone.
We still have Sophie Björlycke opening the hole 10, opening the back 9 for her part. This is looking nice. Can it fade?
It did.
Yes, it can. Sophie had rough 2 holes before this, 8 and 9, both bogeys. She's 1 up for the round. And she's looking at the birdie now. Let's see the Rachel Turton opening drive with her putter.
You can't get any better than that.
Yeah, that's great.
A bullseye hit on this hole is just what you need.
Yep.
It's not my phone, but I can switch it off anyway. No, it's fine. I'll switch it for you.
With her caddy there, keeping track on those nutrients and hydration. Can you really overvalue some hydration and nutrition on these long tournament courses?
No, you have to drink and have to drink a lot. That's something that most players actually forget. I mean, me included.
Yeah.
I wake up at like on hole 15 and look at my bottle. Oh yeah, I forgot to drink. No wonder I feel tired, irritated, dehydrated. You have to drink.
There might be one really crucial thing for the caddies to keep those players up with. Have you remembered? Did you remember the drink on the last hole?
Yeah, exactly.
Take a sip of water.
Exactly.
In disc golf, we are yet to see those professional caddies that tour with those players. Usually the players are getting a caddy from the local crowd or some other players that they are playing with different divisions.
And they're more like a bag carriers than caddies.
Yeah.
I've been caddying some of my friends and I really take it seriously.
Yeah.
And I hope I've saved some shots from them. Like giving them some outsider advice.
Yeah.
Like, don't go for the pot or don't go for the basket. Just lay up here. The wind is picking up. Don't do anything stupid.
Yeah. And because you are a professional player, you know how these tournaments go. You also know that sometimes you just need to be quiet and wait for the player to give you the signal that what will I do here? Let's go to see Silva Saarinen opening the hole 11. This is looking great.
This is going in.
Ooh, Silva Saarinen for the bullseye opening. Great job. 87 meters uphill. is not an easy hole, and we're going to see that soon with this feature card. Anniken Steen laid up after the OB, and she didn't do it properly.
I mean, that's what the OB can do to you. You start overthinking about the OB. There's nothing else you see but the OB, and you forget about the basket. You forget about your next pot.
Oh my! Okay. Just some highlight action there for Anniken. That was circle 2.
That was a very important save.
Yeah, about 50 meters from the basket. OB lurking just outside the bullseye. That's commitment from Anniken Steen. That's something we actually haven't seen from her this round as much as we have hoped for.
Yeah. Maybe that was the wake-up call.
Sophie Björlöke carding the long missed birdie. She's even for the round and taking the solo 4th place as Lykke Lorentzen also putting for bogey. Lykke had a beautiful start, 3 under after the first 7 holes, actually first 8 holes, and then carding the bogey, and now another one. So this is like the moving day from just starting the tournament. This is really going up and down.
Yeah, I love it. Things are changing fast.
Here is Anniken Steen. Beautiful, just in the sweet spot with that left side putt.
Yeah, it's a nice stepper.
Once again, if you are just visiting this stream for the first time, you're watching the 3rd stop of the Euro Tour 2023, Krokhol Open from Norway, and the first day of the tournament. Let's go see some Silva Saarinen action just before the feature card. Carding the bullseye birdie there. And she's 3 down. You're a solo leader.
No bogeys.
Yep.
I followed her play for the last 3-4 years, and it's been a steady rise to the top of the ranks.
Yeah, she's been developing fast.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Here you can see the top 10, the players. It's a steady ride there. Everybody having birdies, everybody having bogeys, and it's going up and down. There has not been a single player, although Silva Saarinen is bogey-free. All of those others have some bogeys. Let's go to a short commercial break. We'll be back with you soon.
This
Is
the new
up to ice orbit. Look,
at this
very nice thing.
tingling.
When you first sign up for a PDJ membership, you're given a PDJ number. Your PDJ number is a stamp for when you got involved in the sport. It's a badge of pride for players and a part of your disc golf identity. Get your number today. Visit pdj.com/join.
And we are back in the action with you on the hole 11, where Silva Saarinen just picked up the bullseye birdie, and Rachel Turton has done nicely. Great job. And this seems a simple shot to execute. It's 87 meters par 3, but for the righties, there are those trees lurking on the right side of the basket. You can't have a hyzer opening. But Sophie Pierlycke showing that flex skill.
And no OBs. I mean,
Yeah.
after the whole 10, you wish there are no OBs. This is fading too fast.
Yeah, that's not optimal. Nice stop there for Lykke. She can have the par.
Oh, there's a place for putting there.
Yeah, for sure. If she chooses to run it, and she has carded those bogeys 2 times in a row, so she might actually be running it to stay in the action. Anniken 5 over for the round. Only 2 birdies. 5 bogeys and 1 double. This is getting a nice, nice tree and nice sign action there. And those players most certainly are feeling the heat from the sun. So we see that umbrella open there. Would you say, Jaani, it's better to play disc golf in those subtle gusts of wind than in completely still air with sun pouring down on you?
Tricky question, actually.
Which one do you prefer?
I like to play in the winds, but it makes it more interesting to play.
Yeah.
But if you really want to score well, the less there is wind, the less there is opportunities to score. And I love the heat.
Yeah.
I choose 30 degrees over 20 degrees any day.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah.
And here you can see some current conditions from the field. About 20 degrees and humidity is 36%. It's about the normal level of a warm, sunny summer day. But in Konopiste last weekend, we had 82% humidity, 76% all through the day. That was humid. But they are having some nice conditions there.
This is typical Scandinavian summer day.
Turton for the important birdie. Missing the basket. But staying...
Just outside the circle, so...
Yeah, she just needed to put some power into it, and she grip locked the disc just a bit.
Is that overcommitment? Maybe it is.
Yeah. Lykke.
Oh.
Stop, please. Taking the risk and rolling down the hill at least a bit. Gonna see her fly in just a moment. We're first gonna see Anniken. That's a nice U-disc sign there to stop Anniken's disc. And this is for the birdie. Really important birdie for Anniken if she were to make this.
Struggles continue. Yeah. It's been a very, very slow start for Anniken.
Yeah, it's her luck for the leading players not to be 5 to 6 under at this point.
Yeah.
She might still catch them if she were to change the course of her playing. Rachel for the par. Yep.
It's an important comebacker from Rachel Churton.
Oh my, unfortunate misses there. Three putting for Lykke Lorentzen. Didn't see that coming for her. Sophie for the almost bullseye birdie. Taking her full routine, which is like 4.5 seconds. Not the slowest of the putters.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do. Keep the routine. But something is happening with Lykke.
Yeah, there
She
something
seems
has
upset.
Yeah,
and not focused.
Yep. She needs to find the zen.
Yeah, back in the flow.
And if you are watching us from the YouTube side of the world, I mean, you will miss the second and the third tournament round if you don't feel like it to subscribe to Disc Golf Network. And we really think you should do that.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, and here is Silva Saarinen's second throw on the hole 12. Great shot. I mean, if you happen to be a PDGA sanctioned player, you get 50% off the price of DGN.
Oh, that's something.
I mean, that's like some dollars per month for live disc golf every weekend. And at this very day, you will have 2 coverages. If you count all the cards, you will have 4 coverages on this one day. Think about that. We have a monster of a hole coming up. As we see this second card on the par 5. Your top 10 list again. Silva Saarinen with a solid bogey-free round up at this point. She's on the fairway of the 12 after 2 throws. Sophie Björlykke and Jenny Karppinen sharing the second place, 1 down, and Lykke Lorentzen and Rachel Turton sharing the 4th place at even score. Lykke Lorentzen 3 up for the last 3 holes. So
yeah, she needs to get the groove back on.
Yeah, she really doesn't have a choice here. These stats are brought to you by UDisc, the app for disc golfers. Let's see the longest hole of the FPO layout. Number 12, par 5, 267 meters. Well, this is a long one, Jaani.
This is a long one. 267 meters, 876 feet. Lots of OB. There's also water and woods and everything you need from a well-designed long ball golf hole turned into disc golf hole.
Yeah, for sure. You have OB, you have water, you have that fence actually just in the middle of the shot there. And this is averaging 5.42 for the day.
Yeah, I mean, par 4s typically aren't the hardest holes. There are lots of opportunities to take a birdie. Sometimes even an eagle is a possibility here, as we saw Silva Saarinen after a perfect shot, making the second shot. There's she can run for the long eagle, of course, if she wants to take the risk.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see about it.
And we don't know, I mean, she must know that she's bogey free right now, and that's rare in Krokhol.
I mean, that's something you don't forget when you play. I haven't taken any bogeys. You will definitely remember all the bogeys you take.
Yeah, and that's something that these players usually do, that they don't follow the scores actively, at least on the first 2 rounds. Maybe.
Yeah, but I think at least previously Silva was known for checking out the scores or doing something with the mobile phone.
Yeah, that's great insight from.
Yeah, sometimes I think it was me or somebody told her about it. Do you think that's actually a wise decision to I mean, just focus on the game.
Yeah. And now we are live on the hole 12. Here is Silva Saarinen's. I mean, this is her third. I mean, okay, sure.
Yeah, easy birdie.
Why not?
Could have gone for the eagle if she had chosen to.
Yeah.
But that's a smart decision.
It seems like Silva has actually picked up her driving.
Oh, for sure. Putting game was her forte, for sure. But now seems like she can actually throw the frisbee far enough. And I still see some potential. She can really, really pick up the game in future years.
Yeah, and I mean, she hasn't been putting this round. she has had like 6 putts from 2 meters, 4 putts from 5 meters, and 1 putt from 8. But I mean, that's it.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. From tee to green and circle 1 in regulation. I mean, do those stats and putt well.
Yeah, that's a stress-free type of play.
Rachel Turgeon now opening the hole 12, as we saw Sophie Björlycke there just opening before Turgeon. Turgeon has the arm to make those big drives. That's a great shot.
That's a good placement.
1 meter left there, and she might have some tough standing.
Yeah, that's true.
Rocking those sporty eyewear. She's known for them.
Yeah, you have to keep it classy.
Yep. Anniken, this is not the easiest hole for the lefty, at least the opening shot. The slope is from left to right a bit. And she actually overcompensates.
Line, yes.
But that's fine. She's on the fairway, a bit short. She really wanted some more distance on her shot. And Lykke, after the unfortunate...
And the struggle continues. This is overturned.
Oh, stop.
And might, yeah, go into the woods. The OB doesn't start right from there, so it's safe. But it's definitely in the woods, and probably you just have to pitch out, get prepared for the third shot.
Here you can see some broadcast times for the DMC that's going on at this very day and this very weekend. FPO, MPO times. And of course, you can catch the live action from Disc Golf Network, and if you couldn't catch the live, you can see next day lead card coverage on Geomes Pro. Des Moines Challenge, that's a beautiful course too.
One of the best.
And let's see one more time, Silva Saarinen on this very hole 12, picking up the tap-in birdie. Look at that scorecard, man. Look at that. Silva Saarinen didn't choose to go boring. She chose to go big.
Yeah. And now she needs to keep the head cool.
Yeah.
I mean, when you realize that I might be playing the best round of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you really need to forget about it.
Yeah. Forget the DGN camera that's following you.
Yeah.
Forget it and just keep your head cool.
Yeah, I mean, once you see that the cameraman is there, he wasn't there before. I must be playing quite good.
Yep. He's having that red light on all over the place. What's going on? Some crucial moves from Silva Saarinen. Bogey free, 3 down for the last 4 holes. And Silva actually, she took those must-get holes. She took the number 9, 76 meters. She took the number 11, 87 meters. Oh. Lorentzen going for the flick roller, but she didn't execute.
Well, at least she's on the right side. There's plenty of room for the hyzer. But just looking at the body language, you see that something is not right. Like, it's like she's given up. There's no reason to give up at this point.
Yeah, first round, half of a round gone. She's even. She's tied fourth. I mean, we all know the pressure that comes when you are in a situation that there's a tournament going on. There's some other players that are doing fine, and you have 3 bogeys in a row after the opening of 300. It can be daunting, but you must just forget everything and execute the shot. That's
I mean, you can't do anything else but to focus on the next shot.
Yep.
Not the tournament, not the last 20 shots. The next shot is what counts.
Beautiful drone footage there from the feature card. They have some pretty nice holes to play still. They have 1 par 5 even after this one, so we have 3 par 5s on the course. Turton now for her second. She has a driver. She's going over the pond. Hunting for the camera and getting a roll, or is she? That's a great.
That's a great one.
And she's looking at an easy birdie.
Easy birdie, and I don't know, the same place, the same kind of spot that we saw Silva Saarinen for her layup. Maybe we see Rachel going for the actual eagle.
Yeah, maybe Rachel is rocking some DGN on her phone right now, so
yeah,
watching Silva play. Sophie Björlücke turning this nicely. Does it have the distance? Don't skip into the forest. Maybe she's fine. We hope so. And Anniken Steen throwing her third shot. And as you can see that movement from the disc, the winds are picking up, and considering the winds, Silva Saarinen is on a big trouble on the hole 13. We are hearing she's deep in the woods. There might be some bogeys ahead of her. We certainly hope not. And these gusts can really, they can be surprising around the corner on these alleys. And Lykke going full drive. Can she make it to the basket? Oh my.
Almost.
That's in the circle for Lykke. Great drive there. Here is Silva.
Oh.
On the 13th. And there is number 3 for Silva.
Okay.
I mean, she's struggling right now.
Yeah, for real.
That's not an easy place for Silva to be putting her bogey. Currently, she's 4 down. Great scorecard. Sophie and Jenny sharing the second place with 1 down. Sophie Björlücke finding herself in a tough spot. It's actually tough. Choosing the forehand, trying to check for the basket.
Nope. Something else. From the knee.
A roller. This is a risky play.
It's a very risky play, but can she? No, she couldn't.
I mean, that was a great line, but she chose a stable putter and it goes just straight.
Yeah, it didn't fade early enough. But I like the commitment.
Yeah, those putter rollers, man, if you can commit to those and you can get those on your side, you're having some really great advantage. Anniken, her fourth, and stop. Putting.
Giving herself some putting again.
Yep. And there is something to be said about this tour that you really don't have multiple days or weeks to practice these rounds and these layouts. You really don't have a clue about all the roughs you might end up in. And you have to do some fast decisions. Turton, this was a beautiful second shot. And she's in the bullseye for the birdie. And after that tough start for Turton, she's been carding 3 birdies in the last 6 holes, 1 bogey also, but now she's carding her 4th birdie on the round and she's going 1 under. And Silva Saarinen has struggled on the green of 13. Lykke Lorentzen for parring. Look at that smile. I mean,
yeah,
she needs some relief, and there was some relief there.
Oh yeah, that was a true struggle from start till the end.
And the bogey train has stopped for Lykke Lorentzen with that great putt. Let's hope she can turn those wheels around. And Sophie, this is for birdie still, almost ringing it in. But she will take the par. And that is fine.
Anniken cannot be happy about this.
Yeah, that wasn't a proper approach. And couldn't commit. Branches on your face, that's a really tough lie. She will guard another bogey. 4 over on the last 5 holes. Pretty unexpected from Anniken.
From the reigning Norwegian champion.
We are going to visit Silva Saarinen. Tapping her double bogey there, and that's sad for Silva, but that's not the end of the world, and she needs to realize that.
Not even the end of the round. She's also known for her high spirits.
Yeah.
Probably can just smile it away. Get the focus back on the next shot. That's the only shot that actually matters from now on.
Yeah, in life you really have those moments that you're, or actually most of the times of your life you're not really living in the moment. You're not considering this very moment to be the most important one. But disc golf and sports in general, there are some moments then they are the times when you must consider that this is the only moment you can really put some effort on.
I mean, disc golf is a good teacher of life.
Silva there, relying on her whale sack to get a better grip of the disc, or should we say a more constant grip. Not to get those early releases or those late grip locks.
The back really gets a beating.
Yep. She's gonna have another one for the next round. Here you can see the top 10 currently. Silva Saarinen took a double bogey. She's 2 under for the round, still leading the tournament as a solo player. We have 3 players for the tied second place. Sophie Björlycke, Rachel Turton and Jenni Karppinen. All of them 1 down for the round. This is live. Silva Saarinen on the par 3, and that's beautiful recovery from the last hole. And now back to the hole 13. Actually playing on the easier side of the day, but this tunnel can be scary if you can't commit to the shot. Turton doing well, and it sticks the landing. Sophie Björlycke next. Getting a subtle kick. I mean, she's able to get the par from there, but she really wanted to pierce that gap.
I don't know.
Lykke Lorentzen. Her home country. A long time since for Lykke. And she catched some trees in the middle of the fairway. And now Anniken. 6 over for the round. We were suspecting on the opposite. This is flexing. That's a solid shot outside the circle 1.
Yeah, I mean, as we saw from Silva Saarinen, it's not as easy as it looks. You have to hit the gap, and if you don't, you might end up in trouble.
Some nature appreciation moment here. Duckling on the pond there.
Enjoying the summer.
Yeah, hopefully mostly aware of these flying saucers above her.
I mean, he has the front row seats.
No, that's for sure. Two-thirds of this first run played here at Krokhol in Sigerud, Norway. This is like 15 minutes drive from Oslo. And Lykke Lorentzen almost running this in, putting for the par outside the bullseye.
Quite close to the basket on the right side is a small OB island you definitely need to avoid. I don't know if the players even think about it, but
yeah,
still it's there.
Yeah, for sure.
And you will definitely notice it once you get there.
Yep. Next up, Sophie. She got a nice long way after that kick, so she's putting for the birdie. Oh, that's a nice beat. Getting the par and moving on. Anniken for the birdie 2.
I think that wasn't a real bid even.
Yeah.
It was a layup. That's what we call smart golf.
Yep. This looks like a simple green, Jaani, but if you get the cage hit, you might roll in any direction. Turton for her birdie.
That might be something Rachel Turton is actually thinking about.
Great power with that putt, but missing the basket completely.
Stayed relatively close.
Yeah, sticking. Fortunately, I was thinking about some crazy rollaways there.
That looked a lot worse initially.
Rachel Turton, PDGA member since 2020, turned pro 2021. So this is her second year as a pro player. 42 career events, 25 wins, and another solid par here.
A very experienced Frisbee player though, from Ultimate.
Yeah, for sure. She actually had her first 8-year win for the season last weekend at Konapiste. Sophie Björlycke picking up her par, and it can also yeah, and actually after the Konapiste considered, this is actually Sophie Björlycke's 100th career event.
It's a celebration.
Yeah. Let's see, Silva Saarinen opening the hole 15. She wishes this to turn more, but it doesn't. It fades just outside the circle. That's a scary
yeah, but it's a playable place.
Jenni Karppinen opening the hole 15. There we can see the map, 106 meters, par 3. And Jenni committing to the turnover a bit more, does this slide. That's a great shot for Jenni.
Planning for birdie.
Marvelous. Let's go back one hole. Let's see hole 14 where our feature card is heading. Par 3, 96 meters by Bushnell and 315 feet, averaging 3.53.
Surprisingly difficult, I would say, 3.53. It's not that long, but again, there is the gap.
The hole 14, 96 meters, 59% carding the par. That would be 10 players.
There's lots of OB in play.
Yeah, there was actually hole 13 we saw on the flyover there, and this is now 14 where these FPO players are opening their drives. We have a great amount of Greek coming on into the play on this 14.
There's lots of water, lots of trees, lots of OB lines. There's the gap between the fence and the first trees on the left.
This is picturesque of a hole. And Sophie going wide right side.
Okay, I like this play.
And this is a safe play. You are risking the fence on the opening shot a bit. There is a fence.
Yeah,
just off the tee.
Sophie kind of threw over the fence.
Yeah.
Relying on her disc to actually fade.
And Lykke
going for the low line.
This is, yeah, that was in danger of a cut roller there.
But similar result as Sophie's a moment earlier.
And Anniken actually might have an advantage here for the backhand if she is comfortable with it. She has a fast driver on her hand. She's going for it. All over the OB. And in the bullseye.
It's there.
Anniken Steen.
Well made it birdie.
Yeah, I mean, after a horrific start and horrific last 5-6 holes, she is carding a bullseye birdie here.
And yes, we do get a replay.
Gorgeous, gorgeous shot. Hitting the line perfectly.
From this angle, we can see almost, I think it almost hit the tree. It hit the leaves on the tree.
Yeah. And best
nice
skip
little
you can
skip.
have.
Yeah. Not much of ground play there, fortunately for Anniken.
Yep. She did well, and now she has to get this into her memory and feel this enlightenment she will get from this birdie. She needs to salvage those feelings. Sophie laying up, and it's a nice layup there. Tricky green, as you can see. One of the most trickiest greens in here. Lykke Lorentzen, her second.
It's just a nice layup.
Yep. And on this specific hole, you want to lay up properly. You don't want any rollaways, they are risky. You don't want to be outside bullseye after your second shot. And I mean, if you get your disc down to the creek, it might be gone.
Yep.
Rachel doesn't want anything to do with it. Doesn't risk it. And it's going to be interesting to see on the last rounds if this is a hole where those players really start running those putts in order to get some better scores and rise up on the leaderboard.
The last stretch is quite brutal. There's lots of OB, lots of holes to attack.
Yep.
But you have to make the decision and stick to it.
Some casual pars for these players. Turgeon quite low there. That was almost risking the cage hit there, and she already had one of those. I believe it was hole 3 in the woods. She putted on the cage and took a bogey actually there. And Silva Saarinen just carded the par on hole 14. Let's go see on hole 15 if she can make this longer putt for the par, and she can. So she's solidly staying on that -2 for the round, and that's really important. Can you describe the mindset she's in, Jaani, right now? She took the double.
I mean, she could be in a recovery mode. Something like, okay, I got nervous. I recognize I got nervous.
Yeah.
Because after that huge round of 12 holes.
Yeah.
Or 11 holes being 4 down, and you take a stupid double bogey. You don't take double bogeys on a holes like that.
Or on a holes like this. This is something you might get a double bogey on.
Yeah.
Hole 15, par 3.
Yeah.
106 meters. I mean, You need a snorkel here.
Yeah, I think Silva is now playing for the par, not doing anything ridiculous. She can be really happy for -2.
Yeah.
And still, if there's an opportunity, of course, go for it, but don't force it.
Picturesque tee positioning here on the woodsy bedrock.
This looks
And again on the hole 15.
good.
Stay.
Did it though.
I mean, we didn't hear any claps. Some cheater there. Lovely chatter. We hope she's in bounds. Rachel Turton. They really are not aiming under the basket because that's where you get the skips.
You have to aim a little bit short and then wait for the skips.
This is going wide. This is looking better. Yeah.
Leaving a bit of a putt there.
Yeah. The last round, you're running that. This round, you're considering.
Yeah, maybe not, maybe not.
Sophie Björlücke going backhand, as did those Finnish players Silva and Jenni a couple of moments ago.
This means trouble.
And Lykke Lorentzen. She's picked up the pace. She has taken 3 pars in a row, no bogeys. This is looking great for Lykke.
Nice glide till the end.
She's gonna be like 1.5 meters in front of Rachel with the drive there. So I think she might be putting there, at least for the birdie. And here you can see some QR codes for the Pro Shop of the Ledgestone Wave 3. Please consider using your nice mobile phones. You're not using Nokia 3310s anymore, but you're using something with cameras, and you can easily grab those cameras out and see the QR code and find the great shop we have.
I might still be using the Nokia phone, actually.
No, yeah,
I'm kind of a traditionalist, you know.
Are you using some fax scanners to use those QR codes to the headquarters? And
yeah, and I have a professional guy who actually draws all those QR codes for me, so I don't need to scan them.
Nice.
Or how do they work? I don't even know.
Yeah, making a living of drawing QR codes with a pen and paper. That's some solid Finnish action there from the spin doctor. I mean, the doctor used.
Oh no.
Yeah. Doctors use pen and paper all the time, but I think these ladies need to use a stick or a retriever to get the disc out of that.
Or a chainsaw.
Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, they seem to have found the disc.
Not in the water. It's just.
Okay, not in the water.
Okay.
It would have been casual water anyway, so that's not OB, even if it was in the water.
For sure. I mean, all we hope is that they can retrieve their discs, for they are on a tour across the Europe, and they don't have tons and tons of backup discs with them, and they need their most beloved drivers and other discs on there with this tour.
I think if it's not safe, you can take it.
One of the best advices actually from any pro player I've ever heard was from Barry Schultz. He once told us that never get attached to your discs.
Yep.
Be ready to lose them because you will at one point. Yeah. So never get attached to your disc.
Yeah.
And that's something I remembered.
Yeah.
It's a sad moment of separation, maybe when you've thrown your favorite driver for 10 years and then you will lose it in a creek like this. But that's life.
And they were just talking about the lie that Anniken was facing there. It wasn't safe to play there, so they used the casual water ruling, as Jaani was just talking about. And Anniken is going to take a straight line from the basket and through her original lie up on the other side of the creek on the first point where there is safe to putt. Or safe to throw, or safe to do anything she needs to do. She does have an alley there, choosing a forehand. And this is tricky. This might get a cut roller from the heel if she doesn't commit.
That's a nice
Oh, that's great. That's textbook of how you scramble.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Jaani, our spin doctor, I mean, I suspect you have been scrambling on your career.
Mostly.
Mostly.
Yeah, to be honest, mostly. I don't go for birdies, I go for scrambling.
Yeah, and there are some tough times that you have to even pick up a 6 to 10 meter putt to scramble to the next position.
Yeah, for sure.
And those are some hard putts, and this is, I mean, this looks like a scramble even.
Yeah, and you can see that, okay, we can see the basket from here, but from where Sophie is standing, there's probably not a clear line she can take. So she'll have to go to her knee and...
She's looking upright.
Yeah, and this is surprisingly hard shot. To throw a sidearm shot that just cannot go over the basket.
Yeah.
It's very hard to throw a slow sidearm.
What's she trying to do here?
Very... Oh, that hurts, that hurts. To have that kind of a touch of a forehand is really hard. And we saw earlier this round, Rachel do some of those shots. And she certainly has it, because with the ultimate discs, she's most familiar with.
Yeah,
you
sure.
just, yeah, you cannot use any force. So it's only about the wrist and the fingers.
And Sophie running that putt for the par. Great effort there, just a bit right.
A big sigh. Church is definitely going for this.
Yep. Lining the putt.
And now overcorrecting the mistake she had the last hole, going from the right side.
Lykke Lorentzen for birdie.
Oh.
Nice line there, but a bit low.
That's what happens when the disc, when the basket is in a place like this. You want to play it safe.
Yeah, and for Rachel, it seemed like she's known for the pushing momentum of her hand, but now it seemed like she just took her hand back to herself and didn't commit fully. Anniken for par. This is not given.
Oh,
she just
stays in.
Oh my, that was balancing on the cage there. And Sophie now has this for bogey. Checking it. Lykke for par. Rachel taking her par. And now we are heading towards one of the most known holes here at Krokhol. the last par 5 of the course. Hole 16. Let's see the opening shots from the second card on this next hole 16. Johnson there risking the OB line. That's a nice shot. And Silva Saarinen playing the left side. Gets a kick, that's not in optimal position. Now Jenni Karppinen on the third. And it needs to roll just a bit back from the rocks. That's fine. She committed well. Went over those stones.
So this is one of those boring or big holes.
Yeah, for sure.
So do you really want to risk it? Of course you can go for the eagle even.
Yeah.
It's only 231 meters.
Yeah, look at this, 758 feet.
I mean, it's not that long, but it's surrounded by OB.
Yeah.
And the fairway is very narrow. The inbounds area is super narrow. The rock here on the left side, that's inbounds. But right after that, on the left side, it's OB. And the OB continues on the left side and on the right side. And not only that, there is a tiny, teeny, tiny bunker hazard right next to the basket. So what are you gonna do?
Go big or go boring. And this is some taste of the hole 18, because the hole 18 also has those hazard bunkers, and they're just outside the bullseye. So this is like preparing the players to really take those shots and place them on the optimal spot on the green.
And of course the basket is on the hill, so...
Of course, man. Why not? Why not, man? Why not?
That's the theme here in Krokhol.
Top 10 scores on the board. Silva Saarinen, 2 down through 15. Rachel Turton, 1 down. And tied third, we have Sophie Björlycke, Lykke Lorentzen, Jenni Karppinen, even for the round.
It's a very tight battle between those 5 ladies. But after them, there's a big gap of 4 throws.
Yeah, and if you get to the plus side, it's really hard in here to get those birdies and get you back even score. Before these ladies are opening their shots, let's see Silva's second shot. So it actually took a roll away.
And seemed to have stayed in bounds.
Yeah. That looked fine for Silva. Look at this tee position.
That's very picturesque.
That's marvelous. Those huge rocks there. And then opening for the old stick and ball golf fairway. And just a grand shout out for the designers, Lars Sonby and Ulla Kolle. They actually used some graphic designers and landscape architects to develop this course to be the best experience for the disc golfers and for the viewers. So it's really picturesque, and something that we had from the players yesterday when they were at the press conference, the signs to the next tees, all the signs where you can find the water supplements and where you can find the pro shops and where is all the places you need to be. There's put a lot of effort for the signs to tell people how to walk there, how to navigate.
Yeah, sometimes it just comes down to details.
And no wonder this place is the number 2 in the world, as Anniken Steen is showing us how to do it.
Yeah.
That's in the prime position if you stop there. Yeah.
That's a sweet spot.
Thanks.
Right there.
Great flex shot from Anniken, and you can see the tee is down there. It's a bit uphill, this first drive. OB everywhere on this hole. And as you saw from Silva, you can actually get a pretty significant roll down if you hit the rocks there on the left side. The bedrock, I should say. Rachel Turton, considering her driver.
And now let's see the reaction.
That's
a good one.
Nice spot to be. Would you say, Jaani, would you like to be on the left or the right side of the fairway after the first shot?
It depends. If I'm going big, I would go to the right side, because then you have more space for the big Annie or a flex shot. If I'm going boring, I would go hyzer.
Yeah, for sure. And that's actually pretty wisely, as we see Lykke driving beautiful opening drive here. There is that one birch, I mean, or is that like several small birches there in the middle of the fairway, and that's really like interesting position for the bush, but it's playing tough.
It's strategically a perfect spot for them.
Yeah.
To grow. They're left there on purpose, I'm sure.
Yeah. Sophie Björlykke. Giving this everything she got, turning this over. It has nice stability. Perfect.
Now you have to make a decision. What to do next?
So considering their rounds at this moment, I mean, everybody has bogeys. Everybody has birdies. And they are really even out for the whole tournament, the whole first 5 players. Let's see Silva Saarinen's approach shot on this.
Again, flirting with the OB. Going.
Oh, I mean, that's bullseye for birdie.
That's a beauty. Now the safe mode is out.
Yep.
Attack mode is in.
Yep. And Silva really has a chance there to pick up some important birdies come the end of the show, this opening day. I mean, don't get me wrong, hole 17 is playing the most difficult today as of this moment.
Still waiting.
Is it clear?
The players are waiting for the signal that the coast is clear. Here you can see the difference. Rachel Turton is about 5 meters ahead of Lykke Lorentzen here. And Lykke has an uphill run up.
Yeah.
She commits to the Anheuser.
That was a pretty safe shot, yeah. I would say.
Yeah, not going for the meters.
No.
And really interesting scorecard for Lykke Lorentzen there. After the first 8 holes, she was 3 down. Then in 3 holes, she made that back up, so she's even. And now, after 4 last holes, she's on even par. And Sophie hitting that Guardian 3 there.
That was an unfortunate misfire.
Anniken Steen lining the forehand. Well, that was overstable.
Yeah, also very safe shot. Just playing for the birdie, or at least a very, very easy par.
Yeah.
Like the third shot is where you make the score.
Yeah, that's the most critical on this hole. First shot, get on the fairway. Second shot, miss that tree.
Yeah.
That gosh darn tree in the middle of our shot. And for the third shot, get into the bullseye and pick up the birdie.
Well, that's the game plan.
And Turgeon now. And for the forehand, going bigger this time, maybe.
A little bit bigger, but also safe.
Yeah, stop. That's
Okay.
the risk here.
Well, that's perfect.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Hitting the meters. That's something about 55 meters till the basket, if I saw correctly.
She might actually be about 35 to 40. But, I mean, it's still a layup. It's nowhere near a run.
Yeah.
Sophie. Great playing for the slope there. And Sophie is looking at a safe straight shot under the basket to get the par. She doesn't have a great record from the last 4 holes. I mean, she's 1 over for the last 4 holes, but before that she had 2 birdies. So she really hoped for a birdie here. With her skills, she could have had the birdie easily, but unfortunately missed the second shot. Now Lykke. Well, this is nerve-wracking, this shot.
Yeah, this is a tough shot. You cannot throw a millimeter too much to the right side. And this needs to stop fast.
Don't roll.
Yep. That.
And
okay, stays in.
Flag.
But still no place for the birdie.
Ooh. Those cheaters there. I mean, I was nervous for that shot.
It's the thriller.
I mean, the more, if you are a backhand thrower, right side backhand, you really wish to be on the left side of this fairway after the second shot. But for Anniken here, as a lefty, she can challenge the OB and hopes for a gentle skip there. That's a nervy putt.
Yep.
And that's
we'll have to see about
that's
that
a
one.
Genius basket placement for the course designers.
Yeah, the baskets, they give no mercy here.
And Sophie Björlycke.
Get in.
Stop.
That's
great.
Perfect.
Great shot.
Great.
And if you hit the tree in the middle of the fairway on your second shot, you are really happy with the bullseye par here. And I mean, even if you didn't, if you are on a bullseye and you tap in your par on this hole, it's really fine.
That's nicely done from Rachel Thurton.
Yep.
The sunglasses have really become the part of, like, a big part of her routine.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. That's a great point. Everybody has some little tricks or things they want to do on their routine, and it's important that you find the routine that suits yourself and isn't taking too much time, but you can get the nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's something you do whatever happens.
Yeah, yeah. Lykke. The birdie, she's going for this.
Yeah, nice.
And gets a nice lucky stop there in the bullseye. Anniken.
No, didn't go for it. Or if she did, that wasn't the full commitment.
Now, Rachel Turton.
Up to you. Yeah, you think about it, fine.
Actually, Sophie will putt first. Taking the par. Rachel Turton. This is for birdie.
Oh, no.
No, not again.
Denied by the basket, though it was a little bit too much to the right.
Yeah, I mean...
It wasn't the basket's fault, let's be honest.
Yeah. Usually, like 60 to 75% of those, they stay in, but unfortunately, that one just balanced on the cage. Silva Saarinen. This is from the drop zone.
Yeah.
This is Jenni Karppinen. Not really giving that the best effort. We have seen some interesting golf at this very morning, Jaani. How are you feeling? We are almost done for the first round.
Well, I hope we wouldn't be done because it's been so interesting.
Yeah.
I'd love to see some more. Well, luckily though, we can see some more golf this afternoon and tomorrow and the day after. But yeah, you're right. It's been super interesting. There's been lots of birdies, lots of bogeys.
Yeah.
Even some double bogeys. And we've got to see the beautiful course here in Norway.
This is gorgeous, and speaking of gorgeous, let's see hole 17, which is a par 3, 115 meters, and I mean, for sure, yeah, why not? Some creek action, some OB, drop zones if you miss the drive. And it doesn't get easier from here. You still have the 18 with those hazard bunkers and everything, but this is picturesque way of ending your round.
Yeah, you can put it that way, or a nerve-wracking way.
Oh, sure. Sure.
As a shot itself,
I mean,
it should be quite easy.
Yeah, I'm sure. I would never go OB here. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing alone your practice round, you won't go OB.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. But the nerves will kick in once you count the scores, once the camera crew is there behind you watching, the commentators, the audience, and you start overthinking about this.
And this is actually the last of
quite
5
good.
holes. Great shot. that these FPO players are playing for the gold layout. So this is same hole for the men in the afternoon.
Yeah, you have to hit the island. The disc has to stay in bounds. Otherwise, you go for the drop zone, as we saw Silva Saarinen do a moment ago.
Rachel Turton getting some unfortunate wins there, and
Yeah.
she's OB.
And that's one way to get to the drop zone. And she'll have to throw her third from there. So that's almost a guaranteed bogey or worse.
Yeah. Lykke trusting
the overstability.
But is it enough?
It does.
That was pretty like... That was confident there, clapping when it left her hand.
Yeah, I was holding my breath. Is this turned over too much? I think it is. I mean, it's that close to the basket, but unfortunately, that's OB, and Sophie has to go to the drop zone.
Wow. Some great drives, some unfortunate misses. That's Krokhol for you.
Yeah, but at least it's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, beautiful scenery, beautiful course.
I mean, if you have to have an island hole, I'm not a huge fan of island holes, but if you have to have an island hole, let it be like this.
I mean, coming from Konopiste last weekend, the rough in Konopiste is pretty forgiving. You can find ways through the trees, and you can almost always save a par. And coming from there to here, I mean, the rough is really different. And make sure, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you are catching those second and third round actions on the Disc Golf Network, brought to you straight live from Krokhol, Norway, all through Helsinki, Finland, and into your living room.
Yeah, Konopiste is a very different type of course. You can really attack the course all the time, basically. Here, it's a risky decision to attack all the time. But Rachel Turton shows what she's made of.
Yep.
Because this drop zone, it's almost as hard of a shot as the tee shot.
Yeah, that's a hole of its own.
Yeah. It's basically the same shot.
Yeah. So
but after you proceed to the drop zone, the OB is normal, so there's no island rule.
Yeah.
Like from the tee pad.
So yeah, as we were talking, how would you, Jaani, how would you describe how these players are preparing mentally for the course where you really can't survive if you go deep into the rough? Considered last week's Konopiste, you have like only 2 times to practice this course.
Yeah, well, I would think the Norwegian players, they know the course pretty well by now. This being one of the most played courses in Norway. It's hard to say. Different players, they have different approaches to the game, and just some people just wing it. They just come to the course, they make the decisions on the course, how they feel, what the wind is like, and some players are very pedantic with everything. It's very hard to tell how Björn Lykke or Anniken Steen are preparing.
This is Anniken for birdie, giving it a soft bid, picking up the par.
In a way, mentally, it could be easier to play a tough course like this, because you can allow yourself some mistakes. It doesn't matter in the long run. In Konopiste, all the mistakes, they feel a lot worse because it feels like you have to birdie all the time.
Anniken It's a solid effort, but a bit too low. Now we have 2 pars coming up and hopefully 2 bogeys and not worse for Sophie and Rachel.
Oh, yes.
Great shot.
For a while, that that looked like it was going past the basket on the left, but that's stuck in. A little bit lucky, I would say.
Turgeon just outside the bullseye for the bogey. Getting it done. It's disappointing to see that only those 2 missed putts that Rachel took today to this point, we remember them. And that's something to be said about Rachel. Her putting, her driving, her approaches, they are really great. And then when you have 2 of those toes putts that like normal people do all the time,
yeah.
But we can remember those 2 exact putts where Rachel Turgeon missed her line on the last hole 16 and then all the hole 3. And it seems like Rachel is not sad about them, and that's how you should be.
To be honest, I'm not sure if I've ever seen Rachel sad.
Yeah.
She has a great attitude for this game.
And she is going to need that attitude on the hole 18, but here's Jenny.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah, sure.
This is live from the green of 18. And that was actually for the birdie, the small putt there, and now Jenny took the par. That's a putt from the hazard. Silva. And this is... Oh my! That was for the birdie, about 3 meters away, and she almost it almost bounced out.
Yeah, almost doesn't count.
Yep. And now, live on the 18th tee, Anniken Steen, her last opening drive for the day. Solid hit on the fairway.
This is also one of those holes that you really have to make the decision with the second shot.
Yeah.
Are you going for the island, which is a minuscule one? That's a very small island. Or do you lay up at the end of the fairway? It's this a second island hole in a row.
And this is taking an interesting role here.
Full 360 now. Roundabout.
I believe that was Lykke's disc. Just confirming the order in which to throw. Third on the tee, Rachel Turgeon, and actually picking up the sidearm here.
Playing safe.
This too safe. Nah, it's not. And a
No,
great
it's perfect.
roll.
It's
Yeah.
perfect. It's perfect for the layup.
Yeah, and Rachel really has the advantage. She can just throw 2 easy sidearms, easy basic sidearm drives, and she will get the island.
Playing for the par.
And Sophie Björlöke, beautiful
Going
flex.
big.
Yeah.
All of them are pretty much in the same area, same space.
Let's see this hole 18, Jaani. Let's look at the flyover. This is how you really want to end your course. For par 4, 150 meters, 492 feet. Gorgeous hole, turning right. You have a fair fairway here on which to land on the angle you choose. And then you have that, as Jaani was saying, minuscule island with those hazard bunkers.
With a hazard bunker, yeah.
I mean, why not? Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you have to decide whether you go for the island with the second shot or not. I would say they will go for it. I will bet.
Yeah, and there is a line of OB in the middle of the fairway, about 15 to 20 meters from the island's circle. They have some solid drives from the tee, Lykke being the shortest one, and she actually has like 75, 80 meters maybe?
Something like this, yeah. I mean, if there wasn't the OB line, if there was no island, she would definitely be in the bullseye every time. But once you get those OB sticks in front of you, you start to overthink. This is what happens. She'll
She
go
needs
for
this
it.
to turn.
Yeah.
No way. Not a chance.
Without the OB, she would never throw a bad shot like that.
Yeah. And now she must be thinking to herself, what did I just do? I mean, you have the full chance to lay up here for the par. Take your even score and move to the next. Sophie Björlycke. Here you can see the power of Sophie's those flex lines. They're really safe because she knows how to throw them. Great shot.
That's a good shot. The tap in range.
Anniken. With the hyzer backhand lefty. And gets the fade.
Oh no.
Skips OB from the island.
And this is the island rule. You can't go to the OB line of the island. You have to throw from this side of the fairway. From the continent.
Yeah, yeah. Now Rachel. This is looking better. This is lower.
But
is it in
did
hazard?
it skip in? I see some clapping. Okay.
We hope she's out of the bunker. She's definitely in the island. And that's something you can see from this beautiful drone footage. On the right side of the basket where Anniken hit, it's really slippery. It's not sticking at all. And on the left side of the basket there is green, but there's also the hazard. I mean, this is genius.
Yeah, those small hazards. You can't even think about them anymore. Just have to hope for the best.
Lykke needs to take this from the edge of the OB, for she didn't even touch the island, so she's gonna take it here anyways. Nice lay up there.
Over the little hazard there.
Gonna take the bogey. Anniken, this is her fourth.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah. Still some putting left to do.
Yep. Sophie Björlycke seeming to be the next one. Yeah, that seems to be Rachel's disc in the hazard. Tossing the turn around.
The last one is there.
I think you might be inside here.
Just there. Just there.
We're trying to work out
Behind the
what's
tree.
inside or
Inside
outside.
the circle? I think it might be inside. Inside? Moving? If you prefer to range it, that's okay with me, but it's very hard to tell. Oh, take the steps and see.
We have some small gusts from right to left, if looking far off the basket.
9 meters.
Yep.
Anniken is just double checking.
This is for bogey. And if it, yeah, it sticks. I mean, if it had more power, it might be to the hazard bunker and then a triple bogey suddenly.
Yeah, that could have happened.
And this is Sophie for birdie, and she gets it. Sophie Björlycke taking the birdie on the last hole and going even for the round.
It's a very tight battle we're seeing here.
Really, really tight battle. And Rachel first.
This is for par, yes. Okay, it's in the hazard.
And taking it to the right side, but taking the par. Rachel Turton also finishing even for the round, tied second place. Anniken taking an unfortunate double bogey on the last hole. And Lykke picking up her tap-in bogey. Lykke finishing 1 over for the round. And Anniken finishing 7 over for the round.
There shouldn't be anybody behind us.
What a day. And here you have some scores. Silva Saarinen, hats off. She had some amazing tour opening here at the Krokhol Open. Sophie Björlycke, Jenny Karpinen, Rachel Turton all tied for the second place. Jaani, we're gonna see some analytics and some great stuff ahead of us after this short commercial break. We'll be back with you soon at Disc Golf Network.
I got 41 feet for Gossage.
It's a game of inches.
The Portland Open champion, Adam Hammis.
All the scoring that we do in our sport now is all digital. Having some sort of backup power source is going to be really important. You feel that it's a good quality product. And having the stash pack that holds the cable that connects to any device, it just works. And so that's why this thing really works for me.
Pulsate Disc Golf Academy is the world's biggest online platform for learning the curves and angles of the world's fastest growing sport. Register today and get access to clear and well-structured lessons and exercises from the very best ever to throw the disc. New content uploaded every week. Start learning today.
My name is Ricky Wysocki. I founded the Saki Bomb Foundation as a nonprofit organization committed to growing the sport of disc golf with America's youth. We've already sent first putt packages to schools in all 50 states with the generous support from our sponsors. Visit sakibombfoundation.org.
One thing we all love about disc golf is it's a lifetime sport. Whether you play pro, am, juniors, or senior grandmasters, we all want to play this sport as much as we want and for as long as we want. This can introduce wear over time, potentially hindering your ability to continue playing. A cart reduces the cumulative stress on your body that comes with repetitive motions such as reaching down and lifting. This will help keep you on the course, maximizing your athletic potential and playing your best.
Hey, Jonathan, catch. Huh?
Jonathan, we're getting an anomalous critical failure on your suit. Could you please confirm status?
Sorry, man.
Warning, low oxygen.
Mikä haastattelu sieltä on tulossa? Welcome back to the Krokhol Open 2023, the third stop of the Euro Tour 2023. And we have just finished the FPO starting round here on Friday morning. We have Silva Saarinen, your current leader, at the clubhouse, ready to be interviewed. Enjoy.
Silva Saarinen, you were on the chase card, but you have the hot round of the day with 3 under par.
Yes.
Yes, it was a good round.
I think so.
Is it your limit, or do you think that you could even improve? Now you have currently a 3-stroke advantage.
I think I can play better.
Yes, but also your rivals. Okay, what do you think about the course? Does it suit your style?
I think it's nice to be here, and this is nice course.
That is
So
true. So
I
tomorrow,
like to play here.
tomorrow we will see you on the lead card.
Yep.
Are you gonna change anything on your game plan, or you will play just as today?
No, I don't. Same than today.
Okay. So congratulations for being the current leader of the PDGA Euro Tour Krokhol Open.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And there you heard Silva Saarinen, your current leader. She's gonna take the same book she had today and go for the second round and see where it goes. What's your, Jaani, would you say is your biggest takeaway from this opening day?
Well, doctor's orders, we talked about them. Boring or big. I don't say we saw anything boring today, but the players definitely weren't attacking. Except for Silva, maybe.
Yeah.
And could be that Silva paid the price with the double bogey and the singular bogey. If she can clean those little mistakes out of the scorecard, who knows, maybe we can see -5, -6 tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to actually seeing how Silva attacks this course. We got some glimpses of her play today. Tomorrow we can see the full run.
Yeah. We had some slow starts, we had some more rapid starts there, we had some early bogeys, early birdies, and it played tough for for the whole field. Silva was struggling the least from the group.
Yeah, I mean that's a fun way to put it. She was struggling the least, because everybody was struggling to some extent. It's a tight battle. Silva is leading by 3, but then we got a bunch of evens and +1. So top 5 is in a very small range. It probably doesn't show tomorrow, but if this situation continues after tomorrow on Sunday, we might see some weird decisions and some what we call stupid bogeys. Like you could go for the par, easy par, you go for a stupid birdie, eagle attempt, and then we can see whatever.
For sure. Thank you, Jaani, for this opening day.
Thank you, Epe.
Here with me, Esa-Pekka Tupala in the booth, and here you can have those broadcast hours for this weekend from the Krokhol Open. Local time 9 a.m. starts the FPO round, and the MPO starts at 4 p.m. And you can catch the live disc golf at Disc Golf Network, and we really wish to see you there. Thanks again for all your viewers in there on YouTube side or in the Disc Golf Network. My name is Esa-Pekka Tupala. This is Spin Doctor Jaani Lansio. we'll see you in the afternoon with the MPO starting round for this tournament.
See you later.
See you later.